For our first, or rather for our second big story, let's delve into the escalating tensions within the energy sector, and that's Nigeria's petroleum industry. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has issued a grave warning threatening to disrupt the supply of premium motor spirits, PMS, commonly known as petrol. Now, their grievances alleged non-payment of a staggering 200 billion naira in breaching claims by the Nigerian Midstream, Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and that's NMDPRA.
Now, the issue has escalated and is already quite critical currently. It's leading to unending queues, and of course, everybody is experiencing that one as we speak. And also, there are no petrol at the pumps in some places, and also black market rates are really high. To shed light on this pressing matter, we're joined by Ukadike Chinedu, the IPMAN's PRO. Good morning, sir. Good to have you here, sir.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to Nigerians.
Thank you.
Good morning. Let's get started. I would like for you to, provide some context regarding the current situation surrounding the non-payment of bridging claims by the NMDPRA and its impact on, IPMAN members.
Yeah, the non-payment of these bridging claims has lingered. You also remember that when President Bola Tinubu took over government, he removed oil subsidy, and also because of the PIA bill, the issue of Petroleum Equalization Fund, the PEF, which is started to be able to regularize and equalize petroleum products nationwide to be sold uniformly, was disbanded. And that agency was merged with NNDPR because of the ongoing reorganization in the oil and gas industry in line with the PIA bill. Now, before then, marketers have been owned millions of naira based on some of their bridging claims because petroleum products is being equalized from the northern part of the country to the southern part of the country, from the southern part of the country to the western part of the country, depending on where you're loading your products from. So thereafter, the PEF has been removed. Product can be sold at anywhere, and cost of transportation is upon the marketers. So marketers who have used their money and money they borrowed from banks to be able to ensure that petroleum product is moved from one point to the other, we are not being paid. And that money has been lingering for a very long period of time. And we have used all available means to be able to talk to the federal government, especially the agency that is saddled with this responsibility of reconciling the bridging claims with marketers, which is NNDPR, to be able to pay these funds. Although they are doing their best, but the best was not good enough, because a lot of money is being stacked at with NNDPR and NPC. So that was why most of our chairmen, having our mandate as a national body to issue that press statement to enable government hastening up, because some of these issues was also released during the meeting we had with the minister, who also ordered that the NMDPR authority should look into this and make sure that money was being paid. But reliably, the authority also informed me that they have paid over 10 billion naira has been released, and within this period of time, marketers will start receiving their bridging claims. And as I'm confirming to you now, some marketers have started receiving their bridging claims, but that is not good enough. So our further inquiry shows that some of this money is not with NNDPRA. The NNDPRA is the paying authority, while NNPC and some major marketers and DAP pump owners are also holding this money. So they are also trying to reconcile with them and get some of this money so that they can be able to pay marketers. So that is the red tapeism and bureaucratic knots that have been holding this money, and this money have run into millions.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Naira, our marketers are suffering.
So, Mr. Ukadike, now this money seemed to be tied into the stoppage of the subsidy payment. Exactly how is that? How does that work? Why is it that when subsidy was halted, that was exactly when these monies started being owed to the NMDPRA? And what's the effect on the members of the NMDPRA?
No, this money was owned before the creation of NMDPRA, the emergence of NMDPRA as a body. It was being owned to marketers. And it's not because of scarcity. The scarcity does not have anything to do with it. This has been a long meeting that has been going on. Coincidentally, we all agreed and we'll have a date that this meeting should be held within this period of time. Because all the chairmen are coming from the whole 21 depots of IPMAN nationwide. And there was the time they stipulated and they are all agreed that they should make their stand known because marketers who owns this money have run out of business. Some of them have been died at the cost of trying to get this money being paid to them.
We're pressed for time, Ukadike, but I would like to ask you, right, and I want to get this right. In light of the escalating tensions and threats of supply disruption, what measures is IPMAN prepared to take if your demands are not met?
Okay, now, because we have also issued an ultimatum that if this money is not being paid within some period of time, we'll shut down our filling stations, which is our last resort. IPMAN, we don't normally go on strike. We don't normally withdraw our services. We have to consider it necessary because we know that some of our actions, the reflex effect on the public is very, very, very horrendous. Let me use that one. So we are very, very careful because we know that the domestic movement and ensures almost everything revolves in oil and gas, petrol from filling stations. So we don't want to suffer anybody because our service are almost service oriented. So we don't want to suffer anybody. That was why we are now resorting to this means to allow government to intervene quickly before we embark on any strike. And you know, whatever strike IPMAN embarks, it shakes the nation and it dwindles the economy. So we don't want to partake in such a thing. We want federal government to, as quickly as possible, pay marketers their bridging claims.
Now, once again, you are the second person this morning who has said that there will be a strike if the demands are not met by the organization. And we always keep asking if there are other alternatives to strike. If Nigerians are the ones who are actually suffering, paying more at petrol stations, and of course that's if they are able to find it, wouldn't they be the same people who would be suffering once there's a strike enacted again? If this grouse is with the government, why not face the government with alternatives to strikes instead of include the people and give them more suffering?
Well, sometimes we don't control the law. Also, we don't control the court processes. Sometimes when you institute cases against federal government, you suffer a lot of adjournments, and by the time you finish to Supreme Court, your descendants will inherit the case. So when we look at that option is not our best. We wanted an option that can be able to law the federal government. First of all, we'll start lobbying. First of all, we'll start communicating with the authorities. We have written several letters. We have written letters of even cost visits and business meetings to be able to. We have also met the minister. We have done a lot of things. We have moved to be able to ensure that we don't resort to strike action or withdrawal of service is the least independent marketers will embark on, because we know the adverse effects of our actions, and we try as much as possible to avoid
it. If strike is the last resort, let's remove strike from the equation, or the ultimatum for strike. What is the resolution you envision, to end this crisis? What would it look like?
Well, it's payment. If the federal government pays us, why will we go on strike? We won't go on strike. But if federal government is not, we withdraw our services. We don't even go on strike. We normally do what we do is
What if
withdraw
it's
our
a part
services.
payments type of resolution? What if they say, let's pay a little now and a little later, or let's prorate the payments through the course of a stipulated
8
time?
months, 18
Would
months.
that be a good
the entirety
alternative?
of this administration?
I don't understand. Can you come back with it?
What I asked was, what if the government comes to a decision or suggestion whereby it's asking IPMAN, let's pay these monies over a duration of time. Let's release it to you in tranches. Would that be a good solution?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We'll take that, definitely. Although the money has stayed a very long period of it. But once there is hope, once government says, oh, there's a payment plan, because they are paying this money in tranches. Now they say they have they're paying around 10 billion naira. We're also happy. Those who were able to reconcile within this period of time and are being paid, we're also happy to be able to continue in their businesses. Because most of us borrow this money from banks. And once we borrow this money from banks, the banks are building interest. And by the time this money will come back, you will find out you have nothing. You just worked for only the banks. So that is a problem, because before, we normally buy petroleum products, we are with around 8.1 million naira. Now we are buying petroleum products at something million, 40 million, 50 million naira. So it's a huge investment.
All right,
and marketers need their funds to be able to ensure that they continue in business. Otherwise, we'll close down.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ukadike Chinedu, for joining us.
You for coming on.
Shed some light on the situation between IPMAN and the government, and hopefully we reach a good solution on this one. Thank you again.
Thank you.